What is up guys, Zach here from the Chaos Galaxy, and today I'll be doing the results video for my Designer Card 2019 Chaos Galaxy trading card game competition. After having over 350 emails and over 450 individual card entries for the game, which is like double anything I've ever had before for a competition, which is amazing. I've meticulously gone through every email and I'm now ready to choose the winners. First of all, actually, I want to shout out literally everyone who entered. You all put in so much hard work, and I wish I could choose every single one of you as winners, or at least give every one of you an honourable mention. I'm giving about 150 entries an honourable mention because I want everyone put so much hard work into this contest that is even the people who don't get the shout outs, unfortunately, because otherwise this video would be hours. But it did take me about 13 hours to go through every entry, so even if you don't get the shout out, please don't feel disheartened. I will have looked at your entry. I hopefully replied to your email. I'm pretty sure I replied to every single one. And I loved going through every single entry by every single one of you guys. It's so inspiring. Every card, just the weird ways at which people look at the game and how much interest and how much people know about the game really kind of surprised, because I didn't realize. I knew people enjoyed the game and knew a bit about the lore, but I didn't realize how strong of a following the game really had until now, which is just amazing and really inspiring to me. So thank you to everyone. And yeah, enough of that being soppy, but today we have the winners in this file here, which I'm obviously not going to show you yet. I've got to do all these shout outs first. However, because there were so many entries, I said I'd initially be picking 2 winners, and the 2 winning cards will be the first 2 limited edition cards for the Set 3 Chaos Galaxy trading card game battle boxes. However, because it was so hard to decide, there are now going to be 4 winners for this contest, and I won't do another one later on in the year. So you've just doubled your odds of winning right there, which is great. But first off, I'm going to go through these honourable mentions. The first honourable mention gets his own file. It's a guy called Willem McHugh, or aka Gavora here, who it's ridiculous. He entered over 100 cards for the contest. Here are just about 35 of his entries that I just really couldn't choose between because his artwork was absolutely amazing. So shout out Willem McHugh. I asked if you wanted any kind of special shout out or if you had a YouTube channel, and he said no. Really humble guy who's just like, I just want you to enjoy my artwork, and if you ever consider like hiring other artists for the game, then please consider me, and I'm definitely gonna do that. I mean, some of these entries you did were just amazing. The colours you use and the art style is just fantastic. Your knowledge of the game's so good. Like every card had like these abilities that are just kind of so like what the game is about, and your knowledge of the game is just fantastic. So there's lots of like huge variation of like really strong creatures. This one, Mama Flacky, this was one of my favourites. Whilst it's on your planet, every time a Man Flacky is killed, you get to kill a creature on your opponent's planet. Quite a fun ability. Loads of cards here. I'm gonna kind of try and get through them quickly, but like this artwork's amazing as well. A lot of Sindel creatures, which was really nice to see, because obviously Set 3 is quite highly focused on Sindian and Sindel. Starcrest Squid, this was another really good one. King Krosnov, based on my old trading card game, the original Chaos Galaxy game. The use of colour in some of these is just amazing. Way better than I could do. Cool looking creatures, and then some really like abstract resource cards. This one very nearly won, however, because I picked a Roka creature for the last contest winner, I didn't want to choose one again. There's so many of these cards to go through. It was so hard to decide. And then also he came up with these ideas for like combination planets. So as you can see, this one here is to do with Barrow and Pelisium, and combining these cards together. It's like a mechanical Pelisium planet, which was really cool, called Chryso. Another one, New Sindius, obviously halfway between Sindel and Sindian. Another really cool idea, and again the use of colour is just spot on. Zararaz, like Chios and Pelisium put together. And then this one was my favourite actually of the planets, Kaitiza. A lot of my art's really inspired by like ancient history, and this just has like a really cool like Aztec-y Mayan feel to it, which was really, really nice. Definitely inspired by that. This one, Relihex Mole, that was a cool entry. These two cards, now these were really interesting. I've written their abilities in the description here, but basically, like this guy, Skelligas, once per turn you can free play a dead Sindel creature with 80 or less health, which is a fun ability. Pretty strong too. And then Skellicpede, whose artwork I absolutely love, by the way. If Gavora ends up doing some artwork for me, these guys are definitely going to be in some kind of Sindel starter deck that I'll be releasing soon. And they're all the entries from Gavora. So huge shout out to Gavora. I think I'm actually going to dedicate a special video to you after I've gone through these entries, because you just put so much hard work into this. You pretty much made your own TCG in the space of a month, which is crazy. Anyway, on to the next shout outs. First off here, we've got Aidan Bland. Aidan Bland was 10 years old from Australia, which is cool, other side of the world, but with some really like balanced resource cards, which seem a lot older than your age, Aidan. Camouflage here. Psycho Raging Karate Donut was a personal favourite of mine, and Slice of Cyborg has some really nice artwork. Yeah, some really good stuff there by Aidan. So thanks for those. Next up, Alex Maho with Brother of Viridius. This is an interesting card because you never really think of making other cards for Viridius to Devour, let alone a Pelisium one, but they do look similar, so I think this card worked quite well. And Armin Firoz, he entered a few times, and these cards were so funny that Armin made. Used Spaceship Salesman, essentially you take your opponent's cards, but its power and health becomes 0. The lore is quite funny. He used to work at Molly Dooloodle Motors and had a bad reputation for selling lemons. He also made Al Capone here, which is another fun card. We've then got Arting for Fun, who, actually, I was going to show this first. He made his own Chaos Galaxy t-shirt, which is really cool. I think I'm definitely going to get some merch made for the game at some point soon. So yeah, that's really cool that Arting for Fun did that. Then Glass Rex as well. I thought this was a really cool idea that a T-Rex would have died on Barrow, and then the sand covering it would have turned to glass gradually, and he comes back to life as Glass Rex. And then Tweeter Squawk was very cute too. Next up, Austin Newmans with Flamehead R352562. A really nice use of colour on this entry here, so well done, Austin. Then Autophobic Destruction, really, really neat artwork here. You've like not gone out the lines at all. Like your shading is really, really like just on point and kind of really even. Again, the case with Pelisium Sea Drake, which is probably a better example of that. And then Shiosian Fire Wormling was another. I think this was my favourite entry out of yours, actually. Very cool cards there. Next up, Basic Conception. I really like the art style on these, even though it's very simple. He made ZACK the Creator, which obviously, you know, has a kind of soft spot for me. And then the No Named Friend as well. I think No Named Friend was a more interesting card because it literally completely copies the strongest creature on either planet. We've got B Crooker. He did a few entries. This one was Collected Data, and you attach it to a 5-star without an ability, which gets one of your killed creatures' abilities. And I just loved, I think the ability is quite powerful, maybe slightly overpowered, but I love how many different card artworks you've fitted into one creature. So you've got like Trom and Bob2699, obviously doing some research on the planet Barrow. You've got every individual planet drawn out here, and the sun, which is amazing, and then like Bogabooga, Weatherman, and it's just a really cool scene. So I can tell you put a lot of hard work in, so I'm really sorry it didn't win, but really nice. Then Elite Tonanon, which looks absolutely terrifying. I would not want to run into this. This is a much scarier version of the card than I could have drawn. Then Brick Coffee Mug 1 had a few entries again. Shiosian Lava Dragon, I think this one was my favourite. Crossbones Hornblower was cool too. And Boulder Guardian, actually no, this one was my favourite. I just think Boulder Guardian looks really fun. Looks like quite a friendly creature, but like he's kind of got a lot of power at the same time. And every time he attacks, your opponent loses 2 stars, which is quite a nice ability too. We then got Chance Wilson, Mechabot. This was my favourite entry of his. He had quite a few, so thanks for that, Chance. Then Chaos Champions TCG. This creature was Phantom Mage. This had an interesting ability when all your Sindel creatures can attack twice per turn, but they're killed after 5 turns. I think that may be slightly too powerful. Maybe like they can attack twice per turn, but they're killed at the end of your opponent's next turn or something would have been more balanced. But anyway, thanks Chaos Champions TCG, and good luck with the TCG, because that sounds like a really good name for one. Next up, Charlie Esker this artwork was amazing. Like, such a talented artist. This was Satellite Knight, which is a really cool kind of fresh take on the Knight archetype. Basically, it was a no-planet creature, and you can pay 1 star to make it a 4-star no-planet creature, which would count towards your like infinite stats boosting up. So that was really interesting and really cool artwork as well. Also, this artwork I thought was really cool for a resource card. This was for a creature actually, Cindius Spy. Next, Chris Sanchez. He made 2 artworks for the same entry actually. Dead Man, Cindian's Most Wanted, which is an absolutely sick name for a card. And when it's cosplayed, you send one of your opponent's creatures back into their hand by paying 1 star. Slightly overpowered ability maybe, but really cool artwork. And then sent me this updated artwork, which was even cooler, which I think the artworks are very different. You could have, although the heads are kind of the same, you could maybe have made them 2 different cards and like got yourself an extra entry there. But yeah, love this artwork. Next up, Christopher Pitcher. These were some of like the best drawn entries I'd seen in the contest. These were amazing. Frostation here, as you can see, so much effort's been put into, and I'm really sorry that these 2 entries I'm about to show didn't win. Yeah, Frostation, kind of freezing stuff like Ice Elixir and other like freezing cards in the game, so that's cool. That worked well with that. And then Fungibus, which was really cool. It looked like a Gaia's card, but when I read the description, I was like, oh, it's from Sindel. That kind of really made sense. So that was cool. Thanks so much, Christopher Pitcher. I'm sorry that neither of these won because they were such good entries. Next up, Dariel Deal, Morphing Slush, which is it's got the same stats as Slush, although it's a 6-star, and it basically gets to morph into one of your opponent's creatures. As you can see, it's morphing into a Crunch on here, so I love this artwork, even though it was so simple. Very, very cool. And Daryl Tan, the first creation of Omnius. Really cool how it's a creature that looks like it's got stuff from kind of every single planet on it, and then all the points coming out the back, which went with his ability, which you can read here. Sorry, I feel like I'm rushing through some of these, but I've got so many to get through, and then I also need to announce the winners at the end. So Devon Farthing with Soul Buddy here. This is an attachment card, but thanks to this, Devon. I liked how it's kind of a cute card, but it's actually quite scary at the same time the more you look at it. I think that's quite a difficult balance to get when making trading card games. Eric Leach, we've got the Ancient Mighty Galactic Brain, which is a permanent resource, which lets you pay 2 stars to look at a random card in your opponent's hand once per turn. Then Ethan Scott. I love this card, it's so cute. Sheosian Lava Worm, such a simple artwork, but it was one of the creatures that stood out most to me. So Ethan Scott, thanks for that. He said it would have some kind of slow burn ability where maybe the creature that kills it loses 50 power and health every turn. Faction Wars TCG had some amazing entries too. Creature Cabinet, where when an opponent's creature is killed, you gain half of its stars in points. So kind of a fun idea of the Creature Cabinet eating creatures and then spewing back them out in points. And just the planet Cindius as well. This was a cool entry. I don't really want the planet Cindius in the game. I think I'd rather just focus on the individual like conflict between Cindian and Sindel. But thanks to this, because this was really cool to see the planet before it became corrupted. This is my favourite entry by Faction Wars. You got so many of these honourable mentions. I'm really sorry you can win. But if your opponent has more zones than you get to free play this guy, and his name is Wacky Walla. And I just think the use of colour in him is amazing, like with his hair and like pink and green body. Really cool. Okay, so those are all the shout outs I'm going to show you for this video. I'm now going to get onto the very honourable mentions, which very nearly made the cut, but just didn't quite win. I never know whether this is actually like something that's good to do, because it's kind of showing that you fell at the last hurdle. But I want to give you like a very special shout out. Kind of, you went above and beyond to like do everything to win the contest, but just weren't quite there. So this one. Brennan McWright, the Chaos Channeler. This is a really good example of, it's such a simple artwork, but the reason why it got so close to winning was its ability. So I want to show with this contest that it's not just about how good you are at drawing, it's about like your knowledge of the game and your way of thinking and just bringing something new to the table in Chaos Galaxy. And Chaos Channeler is a 2-star Sindel creature with 100 power and health, which reads, when a creature that cannot be free played is killed. So that's just kind of a weird thing that I've never done in the game before. When like a Chaos Beast or an Elite card or something really powerful is killed, you can free play this card from your hand or killed cards, and it gains 350 power and health. So there's this kind of weird anomaly that wouldn't really happen much in the game, but when it does happen, Chaos Channeler comes out and goes up to 450 power and health and just messes stuff up. And I thought that was a really, really fun idea. Next up is Dennis Malone with this creature. It was a Barrow creature. The reason why I didn't choose it as the winner was because it didn't have an ability. I wanted a creature with an ability, but this artwork, man, it was a Barrow creature, and I just thought it was kind of, I'd never really drawn anything like this for Barrow. Everything's either kind of made of stone or like metal, but this looks like a really like organic creature with like horns and like skin textures and stuff, and it was just something I never thought of doing for Barrow before, so really cool artwork. Thank you, Dennis. Next up, The Real Deal. I mentioned one of his entries earlier, but Vorbev very nearly won. A really cool artwork. You can tell like you've been having fun with the Copic markers there, The Real Deal. But 140 power and 100 health with 3 stars. It's a Sindel creature. Quite a lot of Sindel creatures here. And when you cosplay it, you remove one zone of a single type on your planet and then add a zone of another type to your planet. So if you're kind of changing strategies halfway through, it just lets you manipulate your planet. Next up, we've got Dorak, who's a terrifying creature from Pelisium with 6 stars, 370 power and 220 health. Whilst he's in your hand, you can kill a Galaxied copy of him to free play a handed copy of him. So kind of you're using 2 copies, but it's still balanced because if like you draw 2, you can't really use the ability and it splits stuff. But a really fun card here, so thank you Faction Wars TCG for this fantastic artwork and ability. We then have James Falk with his entry Night Shadow. This artwork was one of the main reasons I gave him the shout out because it's so good. A Sindel creature that doesn't really look like any other Sindel creature, but definitely fits the planet. And when it's played, you can search your deck for 2 4-star creatures and place them on top of your deck. Then you also have the option to kill a card in your hand to add those 2 cards to the playing field at no cost. This is slightly overpowered, I think, this ability, but nonetheless a great entry from James Falk. So thank you for that. Now, I'll go on to the contest winners. In here, I have the first 2 winners. In here, I have the second 2 winners, which will be in my next video. But the first winner of the 2019 Chaos Galaxy contest is Barry Southex with the card COPEX Helmet. I don't think this is actually a real name, Barry. It's just on your email. But if you could let me know what your actual name is, I can get it on the card and send you a pack of set 3 cards when they're released, along with the first copy of COPEX Helmet ever printed. And COPEX Helmet is an attachment card that's a limited edition in set 3, which reads, the first time you play this card, attach it to any zoned creature with an ability. It can be yours or your opponent's. And when that attached creature is killed, you return COPEX Helmet to your hand. So that's what happens the first time you attach it to a creature. The second time you attach it to a creature, the attached creature gains the ability of the first creature. So you attach your COPEX Helmet to, let's say, a Cataplonk on your opponent's planet. Cataplonk lets you reveal cards in your hand to your opponent that have more health and power and let you gain points from that. You can then kill that Cataplonk, take the COPEX Helmet back to your hand with that Cataplonk's ability, and then you can go ahead and play like an Omnius or something, attach the COPEX Helmet to it, it gets Cataplonk's ability, you can reveal cards and gain points, all with a big fat Omnius sat on your planet. So a really powerful card, COPEX Helmet. I love the way that the ability lets it kind of go onto your opponent's planet, bounce back to yours with a stolen ability, and then play it back again. So your opponent kind of knows what's coming, but they probably won't have any way to stop it. So a really fun card. I think balanced as well because it takes quite a lot of setup, but a really fantastic entry from Barry Southex. So thank you so much for COPEX Helmet, the first winner of the 2019 Chaos Galaxy contest. Now on to the second winner, the creature from this video. It came from a person who I think was quite expected to win the contest from just the sheer effort they put in at the first place. The second winner out of 4 for the 2019 contest is Willem McHugh, aka Gavora. You entered so many cards. I think the chances were you just kind of had to win. PHYCODURUS is your winning card. There were so many cards that could have won, but this one I felt was my favourite. Also, I want to give Gaios some more support because it's my favourite planet, and I want it to be a stronger planet in set 3. So PHYCODURUS has 160 power, 260 health, and 5 stars, and its ability reads, when this creature attacks and kills another creature, you can free play another Galaxied copy of PHYCODURUS. That's supposed to say to a creature zone on your planet, which means the second copy when you free play it then wouldn't be able to attack in the same turn. I think that might be a bit too strong. So thanks so much to Willem McHugh, aka Gavora. You've rightfully won this contest. You put in so much effort, and I'm really glad I could choose someone so dedicated to the game as the winner, so thanks so much. I love this artwork, and this is what made it stand out against your other entries. Just I love the thought of like a seahorse, but kind of just floating around the forest. Also, Gaios does actually have a lot of sea on the planet, and I've never actually made a water card for Gaios, so this is just a really fresh take on the planet, and that's the main reason why it won. So thank you so much, William McHugh. If you two can email me your addresses, I'll get you some of the first set 3 packs released. I'll have you as the first 2 of 4 people to get your hands on the set 3 packs on Chaos Galaxy TCG set 3 booster packs. That's exciting. You're the first people in the world to get your hands on them, apart from me. So yeah, Barry Southex with COPEX helmet and Willem McHugh with PHYCODURUS. You are the first 2 winners. I'll reveal the next 2 winners in my second video, where I'll have the rest of the shout outs and everything else. This is going to be a long couple of videos, but stay patient, because you still have a chance to win. Even if you've had an honourable mention already, some of your other entries might win. Like Willem McHugh here had a shout out early in the video and still won, so stay tuned. Still 2 more winning cards I'm yet to reveal, so stay tuned for my next video, which should be up later this week. And yeah, please like, comment, subscribe. Thank you again so much for entering. I'll see you guys in part 2.